Hello and welcome to this first lecture on sustainability and environmental responsibilities in construction management. So, in this particular section, we will give you a good view of how to discharge your sustainability and environmental responsibility as a construction person. And we will begin by taking a look at one of the things of minimizing carbon footprints through green building practices. So let us take a look at what are the key things that you can do to, build, become sustainable and environmentally responsible. So there are three things. And the first we talked about was to minimize carbon footprint through green building practices. Second is to adopt renewable energy and sustainable material. And third is to pursue certifications like LEED, BREEAM, and WELL. And these provide the building standards. So these are the few things that you can do. Let's take a look at how to minimize carbon footprint through green building practices. Yeah, any thoughts that you have? Anything that you know, do you remember that can be done? Right. So you need to, reducing the carbon footprint uh, of a construction project requires you to look at sustainable design, energy efficient construction method, and eco-friendly materials. So three things. And parallelly implementing green building practices not only helps in combating the climate change, but also reduces cost, enhances efficiency, and improves long-term building performance. So it makes a lot of sense to minimize carbon footprint through green building practices, doesn't it? Oh, what do you do? What are the things that you need to do? You need to begin by designing for sustainability. That's the first step. And how can you design for sustainability? Start by adopting passive design strategies. Maximize natural lights and ventilations to reduce reliance on artificial lights and HVAC. Orient buildings to optimize solar gain in winter and minimize heat absorption in summer. And use green roofs, living walls, and reflective surfaces to reduce heat island effects. Then, second thing you can do is to use building information model BIM for energy optimization. And what are the few things you can do there? Simulate energy consumption in BIM models to select the most efficient design. Integrate digital twins to monitor real-time energy performance and adjust usage pattern. Third thing that can help you design for sustainability is to operate green certification. And there you need to design buildings to meet LEED, BREEAM, and WELL certification methods, standards that we will talk about in the last lecture in this section, and follow net zero energy and carbon neutral principles for long-term sustainability. So that's how you can design for sustainability. Second thing you need to do is to use sustainable building materials as we had talked about just now. And how can you use sustainable building materials? You need to prioritize low carbon and recycled materials. Now, what are these kind of materials? So use low carbon concrete alternatives like geopolymer concrete, fly ash, or carbon capture cement. Incorporate reclaimed wood, recycled steel, or bamboo to minimize environmental impact. Opt for non-toxic, biodegradable, or cradle-to-cradle certified materials. Second thing you can do to use sustainable building material is to adopt modular and prefab construction. And there are two things that you can do. Prefab definitely reduces the energy waste, energy use, and emission from the on-site activities. And modular construction speeds up the delivery while reducing carbon-intensive transportation. So these are two things that you can do to use sustainable building materials. Then what you need to do is to focus on improving energy efficiency during construction. And what are a few things that you can do? One is to use renewable energy sources, right? So there you can do that by, you can power construction sites with solar panels, wind turbines, or biofuels. And you can also implement energy efficient site lighting and battery storage systems. Second thing you can do is to optimize equipment and machinery usage. And this you can do by using electric or hybrid construction vehicles to cut emissions, implement IoT sensors to track equipment idling and reduce fuel waste, and schedule construction during off-peak energy hours to lessen the grid strain. So like this, you can improve energy efficiency during construction. Reduce water waste, that's another way, and waste in construction as well. And what can you do for that? Implement water conservation strategies like using rainwater harvesting for site operations and plumbing system, and installing fixtures that are water efficient like low flow toilets, sensor faucets, then reuse the grey water for that will minimize waste and improve recycling for landscaping and cooling systems. Uh, then, then another thing you can do is to minimize waste and improve recycling, as I was saying. So, what can you do for that? You can, plan material use reuse by conducting a pre-construction waste audit. So, use a pre-construction waste audit, conduct that to plan material usage. And for easy recycling, use on-site material sorting, and for sustainable disposal, work with local recycling facilities. Integrate smart building technologies. And what can you do in that? The first thing is to, use smart HVAC and energy systems. And in that, you can use AI-driven smart thermostats and HVAC optimization. Also, to cut energy waste, you can use IoT connected lighting and occupancy sensors. And second thing you can do to integrate smart building technology is to monitor and track carbon footprints with digital twins. And what can you do for? You can make the digital twin models by connecting real-time carbon tracking software, and also use analytics which are powered by AI to minimize emissions in operations and maintenance. So, like this, you can integrate smart building technologies. Promote sustainable transportation and site planning during your construction. And those are the few things again that you can do is to use more of low carbon transport options like electric vehicles, and provide charging station for electric vehicles. Uh, Design pedestrian pathways and bike friendly infrastructure. Promote carpooling and public transport incentives for workers. And second would be to develop urban green spaces. Now, what can you do in that? You to reduce urban heat effects, you can integrate parks, rain gardens, and permeable pavements in your project, right? And plant local drought resistance vegetation for lower irrigation needs. So, like this, you can promote sustainable transportation and site plan. Let's take a look at a case study of carbon reduction in green construction. And the scene was that a commercial skyscraper was aiming for a net zero carbon emission. And the challenge was that it had a very high energy demand from HVAC and lighting, and carbon heavy and there was carbon heavy materials like concrete and steel. So, what were the solutions that they developed? They covered 60% of the building operations with solar and wind energy, and they cut natural material emissions by using carbon capture concrete and recycled steel, and they reduce HVAC consumption by 40% by using AI-driven energy management. And the outcomes, as you see here, were they achieved LEED Platinum certification and reduced operational carbon footprint by 65% over 10 years. So, what are the key takeaways to minimize carbon footprint through green building practices? So, the first is to, use BIM and passive strategies that can help you optimize designs for energy efficiency. Uh, and you also use low carbon materials and prefabrication materials to cut the emissions, and adopt renewable energy and AI driven energy management. Do the energy management with AI help and adopt a renewable energy. and promote sustainable transportation and reduce water waste. And finally, for real-time carbon monitoring, implement digital twin technology using along with BI. So what is next? So in the next lecture, we will look at how to adopt renewable energy and sustainable material as we've been talking about. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture on sustainability and environmental responsibility in construction management. I hope you're continuing to learn new things, continuing to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions and do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.